Hello! Before we get into it, I just wanted to give you a quick update. I'm still sat here because I actually kind of like this setup, and I've had at least one of you tell me that you like it too, but also Haruki is doing better. Thank you so much to those of you who asked. He is still in the cone of shame, but he is no longer in isolation. He is allowed around the flat, supervised, only because him and his brother like to rough and tumble, and he's not quite ready for that yet, but by this time next week he should be doing much better. Getting into it though, these are the next 5 books that I read in the month of February. So first of all, I'm not going to spend very long on this because I did an entire reading challenge vlog devoted to these 3 books, but we have the ACOTAR series by Sarah J Maas. So A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings and Ruin. And this is a Fae inspired Beauty and the Beast retelling, which then continues, and I won't tell you what happens in books 2 and 3. If you've read the books and are interested, I did do an entire spoilery chat about my process reading these for the first time, so I will link that up above for you in case you want to see that. But I did enjoy these 3. I thought that they were very well paced. The 3rd book was a little bit on the slow side for my taste, but that's mostly because of the main plot that is in this book is quite war-based, and that's not something that I tend to love when I'm reading. So I definitely liked the first 2 better. The 2nd book, Mist and Fury, is definitely my favourite of the 3. The relationships that develop in this one in particular I really enjoyed, and again I won't spend a whole lot of time talking about these 3 because I have done a dedicated video to them, so again I will link that up above in case you're interested. The next 2 books that I'm going to talk about are actually both rereads for me. So first of all, we have Heartstopper Volume 3 by Alice Oseman. This is actually my signed copy that I got at the launch event. I went to the London launch event for this book. I've actually already read it. I read it online on the app Tapas, which is where you can read it for free too if you want to, and I think it's also available on Tumblr as well if you want to read it there, and I highly recommend that you do. I absolutely love this series of graphic novels by Alice Oseman. It follows Nick and Charlie, who essentially fall in love, and they're at high school and they have to deal with everything that comes along with being gay and bisexual and in love and a teenager when you're in high school. So it's really fun. It's absolutely adorable. It's the cutest love story I have ever read. It puts a big smile on my face every time I think about it, and I could not recommend this any more. And then, a little bit of a different note, we have The High Lord by Trudy Canavan, which is book 3 in the Black Magician trilogy, which historically has been one of my favourites. I read and reread this several times in my late teens and early 20s and absolutely loved it. And I recently reread it for the first time in probably about 6 or 7 years, I want to say, and I think that's the danger with returning to old favourites once you've become a more experienced and critical reader. I didn't love this as much as I remembered loving it. This used to be my favourite in the trilogy, I think, but it's probably now my least favourite, with the first book in the trilogy, The Magician's Guild, being the favourite of the 3. This one, I enjoyed the plot still. I think it was still very well paced, but there is some relationship development that goes on in this book which I didn't remember being uncomfortable with, and I used to really enjoy, but again, now that I'm older and more critical, I didn't enjoy that relationship development that happened. It did make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, and that's just changes to me as a reader. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the book, and I do still recommend the trilogy. It's just unfortunately probably no longer in my favourites list. Still great though. And that's it. Those are the next 5 books that I've read in February. This is a super quick check-in simply because I did a really long video discussing the first 3, and the other 2 are rereads for me, and they're sequels, so I can't really tell you what they're about. But if you've read anything great recently, please let me know down below. There will be at least one more of these before my February wrap up, where I discuss statistics and all that kind of thing. This is my new format for wrapping up my reads, so keep me posted on what you think. I'm actually quite enjoying it, so hopefully you are too. And that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video and want to see more like this from me, then do think about hitting that subscribe button, and I hope to see you here again soon. Thanks. Bye.